What's going on, everybody in the building? What's happening? Hope everybody can hear me. Um, Agoleria Kwayans. Uh, they're saying, well, when I say they, I'm talking about the news outlets are saying that, there's a hurricane that touched in Jamaica in the Caribbean, and so it's, it's a very, very intense type of situation. Very intense, very scary. Um, I remember I remember when the hurricane hit New York, Sandy, and they say the highest winds were about 80 miles per hour. The winds right now with this hurricane called Melissa, it's touched 200 miles. They say right now it's around average of 180 plus miles. I remember what Hurricane Sandy did to New York City at 80 miles. I can't fathom what 200 miles is going to do to an island. Mind you, Manhattan is also an island, but it's one of those things where these are events that take place in the world. Some people say they're contrived. If you put on a tinfoil hat, you might want to do some digging, some alternative rabbit holes, and you might believe that this was something that was perhaps engineered. But whether it's engineered or not, these events that take place across the world, natural events, disasters, they change lives instantly. They change lives, and I'm just sending out good vibes and good messages. You're talking about human beings' lives are gonna be impacted, families, communities, even livestock, even animals. Your whole entire existence is gonna be impacted, and you don't know to what extent. Where the most stressful thing in your life sometimes becomes either insignificant or it's compounded, because imagine if people are struggling with health issues and they're undergoing some type of natural event like this and they cannot get to treatment or receive their medicine, for example, or medical care. Is This is prayers up, right? Like, prayers up. Can't really see the people in the chat right now. I think I did see Gandhi G in the building. Much respect to Gandhi G and everything he got going on. Much respect to the good people that flow through the chat. And this is just one of those types of streams where I'm just putting the message out there, like, for people to just sometimes take a moment to appreciate the good that we have, because at any moment everything can change. You know what I mean? Like, anywhere and everywhere. So it could be a hurricane somewhere, it could be an earthquake, another place it could be a tsunami, right? It could be a tornado, it could be all kinds of natural disastrous events. It's just shows you how mortal we are, how vulnerable we are. On the crypto side of things, it reminds me there's a lot more important things that require our attention, our concentration, our love, more than some fork of Ethereum that was created by a nondescript founder who's on a run because he beat up a 16-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it's about being real, being appreciative. It's about sometimes you just gotta let that ego aside. You just gotta put that ego aside. Life has a way of just reminding us of exactly how insignificant we are. And the ego has no purpose in matters like this. Imagine you in a place where you were visiting Jamaica. There they say upwards of 20,000 people or so who are just visiting, and they're stranded. What is your ego gonna do for you in a situation like that? What's your pride gonna do for you in a situation like that? Right? And unfortunately, even during those types of events and times, unfortunately, the worst side of people comes out. You already know there's robbing going on, there's looting, right? There's all kinds of, crime taking place because, everything is, people are vulnerable. It's hardcore, man. It's messed up. It's messed up. It's messed up. This is real stuff we talking about too. Like, imagine you visiting, and then you stuck. How you leaving? Can't right now. You know, and not just you. What if you have your family with you? You have your children with you, grandchildren. Relatives. Like, and that's just not just here. I'm just speaking about it because damn, 200 miles an hour. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a little extra. Like I told you over here, Hurricane Sandy crippled New York, yo. Like, and that was just at 80 miles max. Crippled downtown Manhattan. I'm talking about for years. It took years for them to restore some of these tunnels over here. Years, billions and billions and billions of dollars later for them to restore the tunnels. I'm sure the infrastructure in JA is not the same like the infrastructure up here. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I figured I'd just bring that up too, talk about that. You know, yeah, like DG just said, I see a message. Hope everyone is all right. Stay safe. I see diversify in the building. You know, aggressively living life, man. Not just watching some guy who's on the run pretend like he's a giving tree, because that's exactly what he's doing right now. That guy's pretending like he's a giving tree while he's on the run and has been actively on the run for a long time. Anyone who says otherwise is because they want to accept denial, live in a state of cognitive dissonance, not accept the truth, remain in denial, defend. They have a severe case of bag bias. They don't even care what the founder's doing. They just obsessed with just seeing things one way, extremely narrow minded, instead of just accepting the fact that your man is on the run, has been on the run for whatever reason, and all of his coins have suffered miserably as far as price performance. And his fake updating of worldview, which I call pure hypocrisy, has not helped build confidence or strengthen morale, or else we would see it reflected on the chain. What you do find is consistent launching of projects and people now pretending to talk about the chain like it's something. You know they on the payroll. Look what the latest Griff did, X Game. How's X Game looking? X Grift. But it's par for the course. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Be easy.